Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Kill Count. Today I will be looking at Brahms' The Boy 2, released in 2020. The Boy 2 is probably the worst movie sequel I have ever seen. It creates a new story, full of the worst characters ever, completely forgetting the original story in the first. They try to make it scary, but literally nothing is scary about this piece of poop. But anyways, boys, this movie is about this chick named Liza and her little weird family, like this wannabe ganger. Jude, he's a little quiet kid after his mum got jumped in a robbery, but she seems fine about it until they go stay out here and Jude finds Brahms and shit just kinda falls down from there. But enough of that gay ass story, let's get to those kills. The movie begins with Liza going home, where she tries to scare a kid, goofy-ass boy. Liza calls up his dad, he just says some shit, then it cuts to Liza tucking in Jude. After that she goes to sleep. She wakes up in the middle of the night randomly, and just walks around, bro what? But when she starts walking back and forth, some random motherfucker grabs her, and starts beating the fuck out of her, while Jude's watching this shit going down, not doing fuck. They end up knocking her out cold, then it literally just cuts to this motherfucker drawing. Apparently he don't talk anymore.
You know, Jude, if you'd like to go, all you need to do is to say, I'd like to go now.
But that shit spooked him out so fucking much, he didn't want to talk anymore. Like, what kind of dumbass shit is that, bro? The lady tells them whatever. Later that night, they get ready to go to sleep. When they do, Liza thinks she's gonna get jumped again, but it's just her husband. It cuts to the morning, where they're just driving somewhere. They arrive at this Airbnb they're renting.
It's perfect. I'll give you a little tour if you like.
No.
Then they randomly just go walking in the woods. Guys, I swear I'm not rushing through the movie. This shit just goes by fast as fuck, boy. They fucking somehow find the old house from the first movie, but then Jude just hears something, and his little dumbass goes to search for whatever the fuck is making this sound. And this motherfucker just digs up Brahms' bitch ass out. Like, what the fuck? These guys realize Jude didn't follow them, so they go get him, and he tells them where he found Brahms. And Liza's bitch ass actually helps him clean him up. After that she gets freaked out from him. Then Liza wakes up with Jude busting down some notes. Then he starts writing something down. His dad asks what the doll's name is.
Brahms.
Then Liza and Jude take another random ass walk in the woods, where this guy named Joseph finds them. He immediately realizes they have Brahms. He says to keep it. Then she walks that guy all the way to where they're staying, where he meets Sean. Then he dips out. Liza and Sean talk about Jude, and she gets pissed when she brings up when she got robbed.
You know, I nearly died in some random senseless burglary.
Where she hears Jude talking a little, and Sean gets a little too excited. They go in the room, but Mother Tucker is over here pretending he's deaf again. Then they just leave, Bros get pumped, Liza randomly wakes up in the middle of the night again, where the same shit happen again. Brew, but it's just Sean, but apparently she's still fucking dreaming. The next morning, Jude gives them Brahms' rules. Sorry, Brahms, this ain't your house, bud. Then Liza finds Jude's ripped up teddy bear and goes to confront his ass about it, but he nods his head no. And this motherfucker grounds his ass for that. She goes down to read her book, where she sees Brahms just sitting there. When she looks away, Brahms does some exorcist shit. She goes in there, seeing that Brahms has the remote. She goes to blame Jude again, but he says he didn't come out, so she has a whole starring contest with Brahms when she reads her book again. She hears Brahms walking his ass away. She goes up to Jude's door, but bro is behind her. Later that night, Jude just starts saying sorry to her. Then these guys have another chat. In the morning, they have a call with Jude's therapist. While Jude plays outside, Joseph goes to talk to him, and he also tells him what Brahms' name is. Then Joseph starts saying weird stuff.
So, I see you found yourself a new family.
And I don't know why, but she comes running down to ask him to leave. Later that night, Liza gets out of the bed for, like, the 10th time. She goes to check out Brahms, and to take a good look. This gets him pissed off, so he shoots out some bugs. But she was just tripping. The next night, she becomes a whole stalker, and looks through Jude's book, where she sees some disturbing shit, and Jude freaks her ass out. At the dinner table, Sean says he's thinking inviting the family, and Liza becomes a real bitch again at Jude.
Eat it.
and calls out Brahms for nothing. When she leaves the table, she hears a loud crash, everything's fucked up, and Liza gets pissed at Sean once again.
There was a drawing of Jude standing over our dead bodies and he was holding a gun.
The next morning, they go to check on Jude, but he's not there. They go in the woods looking for him, and they think he went inside the old house. Liza goes in and hears some shit. She goes in the walls for some reason. When she gets out, she sees Brahms, then hears a door open, and Jude's scary ass comes out. She goes weirded the fuck out for a second, and when she takes off his mask,
I'm sorry I scared you. You were just playing, Mommy.
yeah bro, at the dumbest fucking time to talk. Motherfucker actually starts talking. Then his dad and Joseph just busted in. They finally dip out of that place, and Joseph finally gives Liza a backstory on this place.
What's the son's name?
His name was Brahms.
Then Jude starts telling his bullshit therapist stuff. Later that day, their family comes over. They go inside where they see Jude and his doll. Then all the kids, including Jude, go outside. The big one starts punking out Jude while Liza watches from the window. This girl talks to Liza, distracted from the situation. The big one breaks his stick and starts messing with Brahms, then starts punking out his sister. Liza finally sees what's going on. As soon as this mother tucker falls and gets a stab through the chest, he's not dead though. They take him to the hospital. Later that night, Liza tucks Jude in, then she finally finds Brahms online and sees a whole bunch of stuff. It shows all these dead missing kids, so I'm counting them, and Sean hears some freaky shit about Joseph.
I saw him down the pub one time. Old Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe.
That makes him run the fuck off. Liza hears something downstairs, so she runs to go see. Where Joseph has a whole ass shotgun, he sets up some weird shit for her and starts telling her about how he fixed up Brahms.
And he was in pieces when I found him. And then the voice said to put him back together.
She asks where Jude is, then she fucks his ass up real quick and runs over to that old house. In the house, she sees Jude with Brahms. She tries to talk some sense into him, and he actually gives Brahms to her. She sets him down where Jude has a fucking gun to her. While he talks shit, Sean is over here sneaking up, and he fucking breaks Brahms into pieces. Then Jude snaps back to normal and is really confused. Then Joseph shows back up. While that's happening, Brahms just comes back to life, Michael Myers style, and Joseph starts to float. Then this blows up. Jude goes to look at Brahms, and we also see Joseph dead, and Jude fucking chucks his bitch ass in the fire. I will count this as a kill. It cuts to them finally back to their normal ass lives. Then Liza goes to tuck Jude in. He immediately gets up after she leaves. The movie ends with Jude putting back on the Brahms mask. I counted 6 deaths in this movie, 3 guys and about 2 girls, and also 1 doll.
On the next kill count.
You just did the best thing you can do. You just did the best thing you can do.